Hey everyone, my name is Brett. I'm the owner of Brett Buys Rock Houses. I have a really cool story to share with you guys. So if you have about 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to share with you a testimonial um, from a seller who is actually now a friend of mine. Really cool story. She was inspired so much by the process of me buying her home that she has dedicated some of her time. She's already started networking and is researching ways to start investing in real estate and start helping people where she lives out in Denver. So Steph, I am super proud of you. Thank you so much. So stay tuned, guys. Here's a quick 5 to 6 minute testimonial from probably one of my most memorable sales this year. Hey guys, if you're on the website today, this is a quick testimonial that I'm doing with my new friend Stephanie. So Stephanie, if you want to say hi to everyone that's on the website, say hi.
Hi.
So Stephanie has a story, and we're going to kind of walk through that story. And the reason why I love doing these testimonials is because she had a distressed property. It was more like a distressed, like more than just a property, but just like a situation that she felt stuck in. She reached out to a friend, got me, and I found Stephanie on Facebook. And then I'm going to let you tell a story. So why don't you kind of share how we got in touch?
Well, at first, I had made a post on Facebook out to all my friends, just kind of venting and ranting for years and years and years. I had been paying on a property, and my tenants in the state of New York, they're very pro-tenant. So for me, it was super difficult. I was spending so much money in lawyer fees and just trying to get these people out because they weren't paying at all. And they were government assisted. So that made it 10 times more difficult. So I put my testimony out on Facebook, and a friend reached out and he's like, hey, I have a group of investors that let me just go to your property, take some pictures, and we'll see what we can do and if anybody will take it. And then that's how Brett came into my life.
Yeah, and this was probably one of the more difficult situations that I've had to work on. So the property was a little distressed, right? The tenant kind of did a number on it, right?
I don't think they ever cleaned.
Right, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then they hadn't been paying you rent for like what, a couple years,
it was
right?
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years, and then this was like just like everything was like all at once, and then the city was on your case about the C of O, and then Section 8 was on your case about coming in and doing all the repairs. So this was like just kind of like a disaster all happening at one time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it was hard. So what made you decide to work with me? Because I know you had talked to another investor, but what?
So honestly, you were extremely professional. We did the Zoom meeting, we set everything up. You told me what you could do for me and how you could help in this situation. When you said that and you showed me all the numbers and documents, it was professional. I felt you were very genuine. And the communication, if there's one thing I ever want high quality in, it's communication. And you raised the bar completely when it came to this house. So you took the weight off not only my shoulders, but my family, because my dad had been trying to help because he was my boots on the ground at that point.
Yep.
I was just aging him. This house was literally aging him. And our relationship is more important than the house.
Yeah.
So you took a lot of that stress away. So that's why I wanted to work with you, is because you're very professional and you communicated.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel like your dad and I could call him and we could kind of pick up on conversation, like where we left off, because we'd be talking every week.
He's awesome.
So this was awesome that we were able to get in there. And just to share with you guys listening, we were actually able to get in the home by getting the city involved, doing the inspection. We did a walkthrough But I think one of the biggest problems that Stephanie had to face with her dad was communication with the tenant. And I was like, don't worry about her, I'll deal with her. And do you think that was like took a big weight off your shoulders, that I just said, forget about her, I'm going to talk to her from now on and we'll figure this out?
Huge, because for years so I'm in a different state. So for years she wouldn't respond to text messages. If I said, hey, like, this is the balance, this is what you owe, she would then say, oh, well, we have a problem here. And it'd be something so negligent on their part. But I was required to fix all that stuff. Like, if you kick in a door or something, I don't know about you, but that's what New York does definitely not make it easier when it comes to tenants in those situations, because they could just break someone and be like, well, I'm not paying rent this month because the doorbell doesn't work. Right. And that's how she would sometimes get around things. And I think with you, Brett, when you stepped in, you were able to be there and actually communicate with her, but also be, stern about it too.
Yeah. So, just to share with you guys how that went. This is why I think there's value in working with someone who's done this for a long time, because what I was able to do is tap into my own network. I brought on a partner to help me on this acquisition, but we were able to actually get her a storage unit. So I have a friend who has storage. So we found her a storage unit to put her belongings in. And then I just called her every week, followed up. We sent her, I have another friend who has a property management company. So we sent her over to a property management company. We got her pre-qualified for rentals. I'm not sure exactly where she ended up renting, but we were able to do all these things and do it in a way where, like, if I was the owner, like, you guys are frustrated and want her out, and that can be tough conversations. So it was a lot easier for me to go in there and just work with her, and we were going to give her cash. And she said she didn't need any money. I'm like, well, that threw me for a loop, because like, why aren't you paying rent, right? But it took a little while. How long did it take? Maybe like 2 months to eventually get her out of there, something like that.
Yeah, it took about 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were able to actually partner up and communicate with the city to also hold off on the inspection for Section 8 too.
That was huge.
Yeah, because Section 8 wanted to start fining you guys if you weren't doing any work. So that was another big win that we had during this process.
Yeah, all around a huge success story.
Now, what did you enjoy about this process, or what would you tell someone who might be on the fence about calling someone like myself? Like, what would you say to that person? I guess that's the question I want to say. What would you say to the person?
I would say you're crazy not to work with Brett. If you want something like, again, a true professional, good communication, somebody that can take the weight off your shoulders and really just put out there what he can do. Like, you're honest, Brett. You're just, it's incredible. There's nothing getting past you. Like, you're just a straight shooter. And I think there's not many people out there like this. And I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and my family. Like, I can actually move on with my life, not having this albatross over my head. So yes, 100%. I would work with you again over and over and over.
Thank you. You're awesome. And now you're a future real estate investor yourself.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the cherry on top of all this, that you were inspired by the process to go out and maybe find some of the same people in your situation and educate them and help give them some options too. So I think I don't even have words. I think that's so awesome. Yeah,
I love it. Like I said, you inspired me to go out and help other people too. And it's a way to be able to give back, because for years, I'm telling you, I feel like I was aged. My family suffered for it. I was constantly working to pay for this house just to keep my credit score up.
Yeah.
So I was working extra. So my time was being exchanged for money, which I was constantly losing it. I thought I had an investment, but again, I wasn't financially literate when I bought this property. So now after going through this, I don't want people to ever have to experience this, or if they do, have a little Brett come in like you, say, hey, let me take some weight off your shoulders. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, you know, people always wonder why like bad things happen to good people, but this is why. Because bad things happen to good people because good people are inspired to go and serve and help more people. So that's cool to hear that you're taking what you learned and are going to go out and help some other people. So, well, Steph, you're awesome. Thanks for at least getting on the first conversation and trusting me to walk you through this process. And I really do appreciate this amazing testimonial. This is going to really help me with the business.